It's obviously in your nation's best interest.
Sense this collapsing of the foreign and the domestic that we've talked about on some of these issues is part of the appeal, I think, of Trumpism, and that he's pushing back against it with this sort of nationalist populism. Like, what does he keep on saying? If you don't have a border, you don't have a country anymore. That erosion of what we think of as foreign and domestic, between us and them, between there and here. That's part of what Trumpism is responding to, and that's part of what he says in blunt and sometimes crude ways in his campaign.
Yeah. But at the same time, and I agree with that, but there is also a kind of globalization of nationalist anxiety.
Yes.
Like,
Irony.
Donald Trump succeeds in 2015 and 2016 in part because of things like the Syrian migrant crisis in Europe and some of the Islamic State's terrorist attacks in Europe. Now, obviously, there were some terrorist attacks.
So what's going to determine who will be elected president in 2024? Events, my dear boy, events. What would determine whether or not the next president of the United States is successful? Events, my dear boy, events. What will determine if I have a good week? In large part, it will be events. There are certain events that I navigate gracefully and successfully. And there are other types of events that I tend to navigate in a self-destructive, antisocial, embarrassing, awkward fashion. And so too in politics, all right? If current trends continue, Donald Trump will be elected the next president of the United States, without respect to his, lack of obvious leadership ability.